In this video, I'm going to show you how to create tables in HTML. This is a table, and you all know that a table has row and columns. Role name Marks is in a row, one team 90 is in another row, 2 Amy 70 is in another row, and so on. And role 1, 2, 3 are in a column, name team Amy Kim is also in a column. Now this individual data 1 team 90 are called the table data. This table data within a single row are called table row. The first row contains the table heading and it is written in bold fonts. Table heading represents the field name of a column. A table may have a caption. Here student table is the table caption. The HTML table allow web authors to arrange data like text, image, links, other tables, etc. into row and columns of the cell. Let me show you the structure of the table in HTML. Now the HTML tag are created using the table tag. To add a caption in a table, you can use caption tag. You can write any caption for this table. The caption tag will serve as a title or explanation for the table and it shows up at the top of the table. This tag is deprecated in newer version of HTML or XHTML. And it has an ending tag / caption. And this caption tag is optional. To create a table row, we require a tr tag. So tr represents table row, and since the first row contains the heading, so within this first row you have to write table heading like this th. So th represents table heading and it has a /th for the end of this heading. You can add multiple heading within this row and this row will be ended up with /tr tag. To create the next row, again you have to start another tr tag, and since all the following rows contains data, so you have to write td for the table data. So this table data is represented as td tag within the HTML code and it will be ended up with /td. So a table row may have a multiple td tag within a single row. So in the same way you can add multiple rows in a table. Table tag will be ended up with /table. So this is the basic structure for creating table in an HTML. Let me show you how to create this table in HTML. So this HTML project is my project folder. Let me open it and let me open a text editor, say Notepad++. Let me create the basic structure of HTML first. So this is the basic structure of an HTML. Let me save it first. Go to File, then Save. Go to HTML project. Within double inverted comma, let me write proj06.html, double inverted comma, close. Save. Now within this body, let me create the table tag, table, and it will be ended up with a /table. Now within this table tag, let me create the first row tr and it will be ended up with a /tr tag. Within this first row, it will be th. This is the table heading. Let me write down the first heading as role /th, then name and marks. So this is my first row and it contains all the heading, role name and marks. Now let's create the second row which will contain the table data tr /tr, and within this row let me create the first data as td. The roll number of first person or the first student is 1, then /td, then his name is Tim. Then suppose he got or scored 90/TD. Let me copy it down. There will be 2 more rows. It will be 2 Amy 70, next 3 Kim 80. So this is the complete table. Save it, open the file with any browser. Let me open it with Firefox. So this is the final table. Let me zoom it. So this is my final table. Now if you want to add a caption within the table, so after the table tag, let me write down caption, say student table or students table, and it will be ended up with a /caption tag. Let me save it, open the browser, refresh the browser. So this is the table captioned students table, and these role name marks are the heading, and 1 Tim 90, 2 Amy 70, 3 Kim 80 are the table data. Now let me show you some attributes which required within the table tag. So these are the border, cell spacing and cell padding. Let me show you one by one. So first one, the border. Used to put a border across the cell. If you want a border across the cell or around the table, you require this border attribute within the table tag. Now how you are going to implement, let me show you. Open the text editor again, go to the table tag, and beside the table tag, just give a space and write border. By default the border is 0. Now if you assign some value for the border, say suppose 1, save the file, go to the browser and refresh the browser, and now you can see the border across the cell and around the table. Now if you want to align this table in the middle of your page, so you can add align, say ALIGN, align equal to center. Save the file, refresh it, so the table will come at the center of the screen. Now the next attribute is cell spacing and cell padding. It's a very important for the table tag. Cell spacing defines space between table cells. Look at the diagram. Space in between these two cells, whether it is a horizontal or vertical, the space in between cells are called cell spacing. So you can readjust the space with this cell spacing tag. And in case of cell padding, represent the distance between cell border and the content within a cell. Look at the diagram. So this content of the cell ABCD is placed at some distance from the cell wall. So this can be adjusted by using the cell padding tag. Let me show you practically. Now come to the editor. Within the table tag, beside the border and align, give a space, write down cell spacing, and if you assign some space, say 10 for the cell spacing, let me show you the effect. Open the browser, refresh the browser. Look, the space in between cells, whether vertically or horizontally, it expands. To make a more space in between these cells, you can increase the size of cell spacing. Let me write it as 20. Save the file, go to the browser, refresh the file. Look, keep on increasing with the increase of the cell spacing value. Again, look at the content of the cell, of each cell. They are very close to the border of the cell. Now if you write cell padding, cell padding equal to say 20, save the file, go to the browser, refresh it. So look, roll moves away 20 points away from the cell border. So each cell content makes a distance of 20 points from the cell border. So this is how you can adjust the cell spacing, padding, and you can add border and also align the table to its particular position with the help of align attribute. There are a number of attributes for the table tag. Let me show you some of them. BG color, background, border color, width and height. BG color means background color for whole table or just for one cell. Background, to set background image for a whole table or just for one cell. Border color, to set border color. Width and height, to set width and height of the table. Now let me use each and every attribute within the existing table tag. And be very careful about the BG color, background and border color attribute, because these are deprecated in HTML5. Do not use this attribute in HTML5. I have separate videos or separate playlist for HTML5 in my channel. Now next move to the editor. Now after the cell padding, give a space. Let me write BG color, COLOR, equal to, say, yellow. Go to the browser, refresh the file, and you will see a yellow table. Now if you use border color, let me write down like this, BORDER COLOR equal to, say, red. Now refresh the file. Look at the border of each cell, all are in the red color. So in place of BG color, you can also a background. This is used to set a background image for the whole table or just for one cell. I have some images within my project folder. So within my pic folder, it is bgpic1. It is a JPG file. In place of BG color, write down background, and the file name is bgpic1.jpg. And then I have to assign the path and the file name of the image. So it is within my pic, and it will be better if you put it within the double inverted comma. Now go to the browser, refresh the file, and now you can see the image at the background of this table. Now to assign the width and height of the table, just write down within the table tag, width equal to, say, 300 and height equal to, say, 600. Save the file, go to the browser, refresh the browser, so it will look like this. Next, two more important attributes are col span and row span. Row span used to merge two or more rows into a single row, and col span used to merge two or more columns into a single column. Let me show you with a diagram. Suppose you have this table, row names and mark, and this student has been promoted to class 11. This is in a row. Row name marks, this heading is in another row. 1 team 90, 2 ME 70, 3 Kim 80. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows in this table, and this message promoted to class 11 is in a separate row. So all total there are 6 rows in a table. So you have to merge all these 6 rows into a single row for promoted to class 11. So this is done by using the row span attribute. Now these 4 class 11 roll name marks are the columns, and here we are going to merge these 4 columns into a single column for this message for class 10. Now let me show you how to do this by using this row span and col span attribute. Let me create another row after this caption tag, say tier. So this is a separate row where there is a single table data, and it is spanned across 4 columns, and it is aligned to middle, and the data will be for class 10. Let's move to the browser, refresh the file. So this is the heading for class 10. If you remove this col span, it will look like this. So you have created a separate row for this message for class 10, and now you are going to expand it for the rest of the columns, that is for the 3 columns. So it will expand it for the 3 columns. If you write more than 3, there will be no effect because the maximum number of columns is 3. So if you write the value more than 3, you will get the same effect. For this case, 3 will be sufficient. And if you make it 2, So it will expand for the first two columns. Let me make it as 3. Now let me create another row, and within this row let me write promoted to class 11. Refresh the file and it will look like this. Let me remove this width and height so that the whole table fits into a single screen. Still it is bigger. Let me reduce the cell padding as 10 and cell spacing as 5, so the whole table will fit into the screen. Now the table contains 1 2 3 4 5 6 rows. Merge the following rows 1 2 3 4 along with this fifth one and make the promoted to class 11 in a single row. Just go to the code. Beside the td tag of the promoted to class 11, write down row span equal to 5. Save the file and go to the browser, refresh it, so it will look like this. Now look at the message for the class 11. This message is expanded over the first 3 columns. Now there are 1 2 3 4 columns are there. So for that you have to edit this call span as 4. Save the file and refresh it. So now it will be expanded over the 4 columns and this will be your final table. This is all for this video. Still, if you have any problem, write it down in the comment box and I will try to reply you back as soon as possible. Thank you.